Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today. It is going to be a match that I'm very excited for because I just always click on replays that I think will be a fun one to watch. Usually trying to think of like, alright, what two bots will be a good match for each other? And for this one, I think it'll be a really fun one because it's going to be Xenobot taking on Ketroc bot. Just called Ketroc and just called Xena, I suppose. The only distinction needs to be made is that Ketroc actually goes by its bot's name and plays, or his bot's name and plays a very similar style. So, and yeah. So we've got a very aggressive bot going up against a bot that can be quite a macro horse. So I'm excited to see which of these two will come out on top. Although as I say that, this game seems to be flipped on its head already. We've got Xenobot going for a Nexus first, and Ketroc's bot saying one base Banshee Cyclone. So just ignore everything I said, except for hitting the like button. If we can hit 8 likes on this video, 1 for each mineral patch, that would be amazing. Then subscribe to the channel if you're not and you're watching these bot videos. This channel is the place for bot videos if you enjoy this commentary. So yeah, we've got Ketroc one basing it, whereas Xenobot is going for as fast of a Nexus as it can get, which really is something I'm excited to see, as it's not something that every bot or Protoss bots go for. They often delay their expansion more than in human matches. So the fact that we've got a bot out there being like, yeah, Nexus first, is wonderful. Doesn't surprise me that it's something that Xena would do. We've also got Ketroc's bot playing in the dark a little bit, with Xenobot playing random. Ketroc's bot has a tag versus Protoss, so it's interesting to see that Ketroc's bot has got programming in regards to what race it's going up against, with random bots in mind. I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that was inspired by the presence of Xenobot so high up on the ladder. So now we've got one Zealot crossing the map, potentially another going to be moving across the map. We'll see if they actually attack or not for the Protoss bot. Then there's a Cyber Core on the way. Then Ketroc's bot just getting up double factory siege tank. I think it will expand eventually, as it takes a long time to get to one base Banshee Cyclone, but definitely prioritizing that as far as the build goes. We are on the map Grezvin, the AI edition. I didn't get a chance to specify that. These maps are... I like Grezvin as far as the maps are concerned. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, before we take this any further, if you happen to be a bot author who programs a bot and wants to show it off, feel free to send me the replay on Discord, and I'll take a look at it and cast it for the channel, most likely. As long as it's not like an hour-long replay. So, for those of you that don't know, an hour is the max amount of time that one of these bot games can go for. The system is set up to call a draw, or I believe it's pick a winner after an hour. So there are draws in bot games. I don't, of course, cast those hour-long games because often it's just going to be like one bot afraid to go up a ramp or something. So I don't cast those too often. But yeah, that is a fun fact for those of you that do not know. We've got Ketroc's bot getting multiple Cyclones now, getting up that command center and double missile turrets. The economy of Xenobot is very far ahead that of Ketroc's. So that's a good start for the Protoss bot. It's then getting up lots of Stalkers, Sentries, a Robo. We'll see if it makes a Prism behind this and potentially goes for a big Gateway Stalker attack. Now, one of the fine points of this Terran bot is that it tends to go for planetaries at the natural, and we'll see if that's going to be the case. It is so far just an SCV. I know that sometimes it breaks from this trend. It's going to be interesting to see if it does turn this into a PF. That could be really game deciding, as breaking a planetary is incredibly hard to do. We see an Immortal on the way for Xena, but yeah, Ketroc's bot does have that PF at the natural. It's got the bunker, the tank, the Widowmine there, the Cyclones, of course, too. So I think any attack that Xena is gonna go to may be doomed to fail, almost. As I say that, though, we do have +1, a Twilight Council on the way. Xena is really hitting hard on the macro. It's not going for a basic gateway unit attack. Xenobot also notably warping in its stalkers. That's a lot of thing that bot authors don't deal with, as it's an extra step and probably a lot of extra work, is to make your bot warp in the stalkers. A lot of them just never get warp gate and produce them out of the gateways, like Terran units. So I think it's really cool that Xena does that. We've got Blink on the way. Blink very powerful in the hands of bots. Okay. A Viking now being produced for Ketroc. It's getting up a Raven. It did say Banshee Cyclone, so I imagine eventually we'll see Cloak start to research and those Banshees be produced. And the Banshees for Ketroc could definitely get something done, as I mean, there's no static defense in the main base for Xena, and no static defense at the natural, aside from one battery that's out of position. And then I don't even know if Xena has got the programming to deal with something like Banshee Harassment. I guess Ketroc's bot is just focused on the defense for now, though. However, as I say that, it salvaged its bunker and is moving out, presumably to take a third base, maybe for a bit of a poke, we'll see. It is, yeah, it's just straight up moving out, and this could be disastrous for the Terran, as we see Stalkers coming on in. There is no Blink done yet, however, Xena, so aggressive, charges up this ramp, cuts down that siege tank, and really optimizes its fire. Ketroc's bot was going for that third base, however, it's really all going to be on that planetary now to try and hold on. SCVs are repairing, tanks sieging up on the high ground. It's a very important thing for Ketroc here, as those tanks pop off those Stalkers like it's nothing. The PF is holding on. All the units that moved out pretty much have died, though, so a really solid attack for Xena, catching the Terran army off guard. That being said, breaking this natural is still almost impossible, it seems, as the PF repair mechanic is just so darn good, and Ketroc knows that. That's how he programmed his bot. That being said, his bot is not in an easy spot, as he's got no third base yet. It looks like he's going to be trying to get that up soon, and he lost all of his army. He's down about 30 supply. It's down about 30 supply, I suppose I should say. We've got double Nexus going up for Xena. I think the one hope, well, the big hope for Ketroc's bot in this game is going to be that Banshee that's being produced that I believe has popped out now. If that can get across the map, Cloak, Xena could potentially crumble, depending how it responds to this, as that is not an easy thing to do. We do see Ketroc's bot trying to take that third on location. That will not happen, though, as Xena scouts that, shuts it down, kills the tanks, and Ketroc's bot is stuck at its natural. Looks like there is some redundancy, though. It failed to take that third base twice. It's now electing to try and expand to another location. There's a chance that may not be scouted. There's a chance it shall be scouted. Really good scouting, though, from Xenobot, so I am a little bit worried, as there is, yeah, Zealots running to all these bases. No Zealots running towards this base, however. We'll see if this guy ends up going there or not. Stalkers are heading on home, trying to deal with this Banshee. There is Cloak done for it, so it can always Cloak to save itself. There we see it. I want to say notably that Ketroc's bot didn't Cloak till it was in real danger, too. That's a great use of the energy there, as, like, it took some damage, then it Cloaked. Maybe Cloak wasn't done. Maybe I'm just making things up. Though, we do have 4 probes being produced at a time for Xena. There is that 5th Nexus on the way. It's under threat of this Cloaked Banshee, though. Working away on the Nexus. I'm not sure if it will kill it or not. I think it shall. It's got about 20 seconds left, and Banshees don't deal the most damage in the world against a building Nexus. They deal quite a bit, though. Looks like Xena is having enough, potentially tack it on in, though, but it actually backs off, and that's one of the things that I think is really impressive about some of these bots. It's the fact that Xenobot pulls out, the fact that it doesn't just suicide into the planetary and lose all of its units like a lot of bots will. Staying out of range of the siege tank is very notable too, for the most part. And shutting down the bases of Ketroc, that one gets cancelled. Ketroc's bot is trying to secure up another base to the top right. If it can get that up, that would be huge. Oh, so important for it. We see how good the expanding mechanics are for Ketroc's bot, as it just keeps trying to take more bases. Oh, looks like the Zealot swiped at that SCV, but then it continued on its way. If this turns into a planetary, that would be huge. There's another base attempt. So far, though, Xena's been doing a good job of shutting down these bases. While this is going on, there's Banshee harassment. There was a cannon built in the main base. No cannons built at any of the other locations, so the Banshees can potentially keep harassing. This command center isn't going to burn down as Xena pulls away, I guess being pulled back by the Banshee harassment, and that's understandable as there is nothing here to deal with that Banshee. And it goes to show that even the best bots are susceptible to simple AI mistakes. Like, we saw even Alpha Star back in the day, it could be pulled back by like one Banshee too. Just AI has a really hard time prioritizing and multitasking on attack and defense. We see a Banshee working away on this Stalker. There is another base being attempted, but it's being shot down. This command center is being repaired. Ketroc's bot is so darn good with trying to expand. Xena's bot is great at trying to shut down those expands. In goes the Protoss to the natural once more. We'll see if this planetary gets broken or not. There is building armor, so it's extra tough. SCVs are being targeted down. More coming down to give a hug to this base. There's so much firepower. The +3 on the Protoss does break that natural, and that is the anchor for Ketroc falling there. While there's great Banshee harassment going down on the other side of the map. How many kills does this Banshee have? 16. There's a couple Banshees out and about as well. This one's only got 3, but we see Xena's bot definitely susceptible to the harassment. However, it just did not let Ketroc's bot get where it needed to go. Ketroc's bot tried so darn hard, constantly trying to expand. I think it was making 3 expansions at one time, just trying to get up another defensible position, that anchor at its natural base. And lots of bots wouldn't scout out, wouldn't shut down those further out bases, but Xena had scouted out. It never overcommitted, and I really do enjoy seeing Xena's macro side, that's for sure. It's having a hard time getting up this ramp. It does kill that one siege tank, however, and I think there's not a chance for Ketroc's bot to come back here. The Banshee harassment is on another level, and it's probably one of the harder bots to play against as a human, just because of how hard it is to respond to this Banshee harassment. Like, I know when I've played against Ketroc's bot, I've thrown up cannons all over the place as Protoss, just because the Banshee harassment is that good. We see, yeah, though, that's going to be the end. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this one as much as I did, make sure to go ahead, slap that like button, and leave a comment down below that says more bots if you want to see more of these bots. I love casting these bot games. There's so much variety, and they just get better and better all the time. So yeah, we shall see what's next for the bots. Really great bots, both of these though. So if you want to see a rematch, let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe, like, join the Discord, send me your replays, consider becoming a YouTube member to support these casts. I'll see you guys next time.